Well, let's get into the last section. Get out on it here for today. Something really crazy happened. They had the funeral today, fam. If you want to take the lead on this.
Yeah, so I shared this tweet because it happened today, and this really pisses me off because, okay, the Israeli Ministry of Defense has been consistently saying that Shireen was killed by Palestinians, terrorists, or she was caught in this firing between the Israelis and the Palestinians. And that was completely false. And of course, we talked about how the New York Times, the Washington Post, all of mainstream media were saying, oh, she died. Shireen died. Or she was, she got shot in a situation. No, she was murdered by Israeli military for being a journalist that's of Palestinian descent. And by the way, she's American. People forget that, if she was an American citizen that wasn't Palestinian, I think a lot of people would have raised even more alarm in the West. But because she's Palestinian, it's almost like that disqualifies her from having any sort of empathy in the West. And also the narrative that this fight between Israel and Palestine is a religious fight completely goes out the window because she was a Christian Palestinian. She was a Christian. And so this is where we're going to now, because thousands of people turned out for her funeral. And, she of course worked for Al Jazeera, and they were also stopping these people from coming in. I mean, you can see in the picture, thousands of people were at her funeral. She was a veteran journalist, loved by many people in West Asia and in Palestine in particular for talking about this issue. And there's this video here. Oz, you can go ahead and play the video. It says, "This will never be unseen."
What the fuck?
I wish we had this on YouTube. When he chops it up, I'll have him put it on YouTube. That's disgusting, right? Why? So their excuse was that if they were Muslim, Palestinians, they weren't allowed in. If they were Christian Palestinians, it was okay. You see how these people divide, like people who, a funeral. It's a funeral. She's already dead. You killed her. You still you can't even allow them to mourn in peace. I mean, where's I haven't seen any. Have you heard anything from from our wonderful leaders in office? Because
no, not
besides the pandering, the usual pandering of, this was bad. When is Israel going to take accountability? Maybe when you start supporting measures that would actually force them to take accountability, but they don't. They don't, and they continue playing footsie with if it's not AIPAC, it's J Street or like some other like Israeli whatever organization, right? And they don't ever talk about it unless something like this happens, and then they forget about it 2 days later, and that's just on and on how it goes.
Fam. Come on, you're not giving credit where credit's due. Ilhan Omar, Pramila Jayapal, they could have said something, but they were too busy marching down to the Senate chambers going, "My body, my choice. My body, my choice." So they're a little busy, fam, handling, the most serious issue out there, which is that opinion piece, and that's why they couldn't do it. All right, fam?
It's only their body and their choice when the government tells them, right? Yeah. Like that's it. Okay. So this is what Al Jazeera said. Like I said, the Israeli army is asking people if they are Christian or Muslim. If you're Muslim, you weren't allowed in. Israeli occupation forces are attacking Palestinians during the funeral of killed Al Jazeera journalist Shireen Abu Akleh. And then this is the scene that will be ingrained on our memory forever. And this shows the power and impact Shireen's journalism had on the world. And it's why governments and armies are so afraid of it. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is amazing. And you know what? I hope this, unfortunately, this, what often happens is incidents like this are what it takes to make some sort of change. And I hope like that happens, right? I hope like her death doesn't go unheard, and I hope more people speak out against this, because there are journalists being killed every day doing work that they shouldn't be killed for, doing work that's their job. Actual journalists, like literally showing you the truth, not the ones sitting on CNN or MSNBC getting paid to regurgitate propaganda, right? Not the CNN and MSNBC for poor folks light like TYT and all those other idiots that also regurgitate propaganda, but real journalists that go where the story is, that really put their lives on the line, and that are being adversarial, are the ones being smeared, are the ones being killed. And that's the state of journalism that we're in. And that's why we remember Julian Assange every single time, because this is what we're talking about here. If they don't physically imprison you, that you could get shot, you could lose your life, you could be smeared, you could do, I mean, they could do all kinds of things to you. And it's disgusting, because our country, the United States of America, will never call out their ally, Israel, because they use Israel for military purposes too. And Israel is another empire by proxy to the United States. It's an extension of our empire. They have a better life expectancy. They have healthcare. They have things that the American people don't have. And they constantly vilify nations around them, like Syria and the Palestinians, who have lost pretty much everything, and nobody gives a damn. Nobody puts their flags up for Palestine except Palestinians, who constantly have to fight. Nobody puts up the Syrian flag when they bomb them every other day. And we never hear about sending aid and having these people come in and expediting their process and getting them into the country. What is it about it? If you don't want to admit it's racism, fine. Then what? It's also the fact that they're powerless and we can't use them for anything, for whatever reason. You know, there's so much to it, and it's really fun. I'm just so sick and tired of hearing it, of seeing it, and people just don't give a shit. They're so busy, putting Ukrainian flags on their bio and putting a Ukrainian flag on their face and talking about how they love Ukraine. Yesterday, I went on Facebook. Why did I go on Facebook? There was an ex-Bernie supporter that I knew. Oh my God, you can donate to Ukraine here, blah, 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 blah. That's all they've become now. That's the left now. That's all they are.
The next thing. I'm for the next thing. Roll the video.
Unbelievable.
Analyzed, I've looked at news throughout the world for decades, and I've never seen a scene like this. Look at that. Attacking innocent people, carrying a casket. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say anymore. What are they expecting now? This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh my God. Such disrespect for the dead and for those who are mourning the dead. How is that a security threat to anyone? How is that disorderly? Why does that require this kind of repression, this kind of violence on the part of Israelis?
Disgusting. So, fams, continue talking about Palestine, even when it's not, on the top of anyone's head, and we'll continue bringing in people. We had a Palestinian activist here on a few days before this happened, and again, it's bigger than Israel Palestine. It's the fact that she's also a journalist. Now, no one should be shot like that, but the fact that she was a journalist, clearly marked with a helmet, with a press jacket, with the whole suit, the bulletproof vest and everything. And they specifically targeted her and her colleague. And that's the risk that we're taking as journalists.
Yeah, an American
American citizen too.
And Congress has had said zip, butkus, nothing, nada, fam.